Welcome to the Guide Talk podcast, where we trade fish stories, guide tips, and a whole lot of river talk. I'm one of your hosts, Logan Huff.
And I'm Morgan Gus.
And we are your guides on this journey. Brought to you by Diamond State Fly Co., your trusted fly shop and outfitter nestled in the heart of the Ozarks. In each episode, we dive into the world of fly fishing, sharing stories from the water, insights from seasoned guides, and the lessons the river teaches us. Whether you're a seasoned angler or just getting your feet wet, Guide Talk is here to inspire, educate, and connect you to the life of fly fishing. So grab your gear, tie on your favorite fly, and let's wade into today's episode of Guide Talk.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Guide Talk podcast presented by Diamond State Fly Co. Today, we are coming at you with a little late night podcast. This is the October 16th.
Yep.
God knows when. But we decided to pull ourselves into the podcast tonight and talk about what many people have seen online, social media wise, Instagram, Facebook, all those kind of things about the regulation changes that have just dropped today, October 16th, about on the White River specifically is kind of what we're going to talk about, but have come across statewide in Arkansas from AGFC. So we're kind of going to get into that a little bit tonight. Not really an ordinary podcast for us, but kind of an emergency podcast and just get some information out there about, like I said, in particular, our fishery.
Because there is an insane amount of misinformation.
Tons of misinformation. A lot of people that don't really understand what's happening or the reasoning for it. Or, I mean, I was in the shop today, and I was fielding phone calls from about 7:30, 8 o'clock till about noon to 1. Pretty nonstop. So all we're trying to do is just get that information out to you guys. Hopefully this helps you guys grasp an understanding of it, as we are still learning quite a bit about it ourselves. But this is just what we know as of now.
And our goal is to keep everybody updated too. So like as we find out more, we'll relay information.
Absolutely.
Out to you guys. Because we're on this water every day, but it's public water. It belongs to everybody.
Yeah.
So it concerns all of us.
Absolutely. Do want to give a big shout out to Raps Brewing for our beer tonight and our mugs.
And our mug. They brought us.
Thank you, Kyle. And we just we like local companies. This is a very localized business.
And even as far as beer goes, I mean, like their beer is good.
It's really good.
Yeah. I mean, it's some of my favorite. I'm disappointed when I go other places and I'm like, it's not Raps.
So when you guys are in town fishing, stop by Raps, grab a beer. Their food is
fire.
Stellar.
Tomorrow is my
Raps day.
Soon to be. One of my sons turns 5 tomorrow. And I asked him last night where he wants to go to dinner for his birthday.
Raps.
He said Raps.
Cheeseburgers.
Which I'm not going to argue with, obviously. Like, deal. We can go to Raps. I was so scared he'd say McDonald's.
Chicken nuggets are good.
We're going to Raps. I'm excited.
All right. Well, when you guys are in town fishing, because you guys absolutely should come fishing here. It's still phenomenal. We'll get into that tonight. But go check out Raps.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's start with what the regulation change is.
Yeah, exactly. What changed today?
Yep.
So as of this morning, October 16th, 2025, for 120 days, we're going to start with our fishery. And like I said, we're mostly going to just talk about our fishery. There's regulation changes that have changed on Beavertail Waters, Greer's Ferry, the Little Red, and Norfork. But Norfork and White River or below Bull Shoals Dam are going to apply to us.
Yep, and regulations on the spring as well have
And
changed. So statewide trout regulations have changed.
Yep, you're right. But for simplicity and what affects us and really what we consider the trophy fishery of Arkansas is going to be below Bull Shoals Dam.
Right.
So for 120 days from Bull Shoals Dam specifically to the boat ramp at the Norfork and White River confluence, it is catch and release only.
For all fish.
All fish. What I did field a couple questions on today was, which is a little weird, is tackle restrictions still apply in the places that previously had tackle restrictions?
Right. So you do not have to fish with barbless hooks in the places that you didn't have to before.
Correct. You can still fish the exact same way.
You can still use bait.
As long as you catch and release. You just cannot keep fish.
Right.
Is the biggest thing I've seen in terms of misunderstanding right now, and from the way I have interpreted the regulations, and I have looked at the AGFC regulations, the way I have interpreted it, and there's a general consensus around that, is that unless you were in a previously known catch and release section, you are good to fish in whatever manner you see fit.
I saw Rob Finley, our commissioner.
Oh, you did?
Clarify on Facebook.
Yeah.
That is the case. Okay. So straight from our local game and fish commissioner.
Yep.
You still only have to use barbless and can't fish with bait in the places that were already catch and release.
Right. So if there was a previous catch and release section,
yep,
those rules still apply.
Yep.
Anywhere else that it was technically catch and keep, by all means necessary, basically. It's just catch and release now.
Yep.
So barbed hooks, bait, all still fine.
Yep. And
that goes true for the Norfork below Norfork Dam as well.
Correct. The catch and release on Norfork, though, is still regular rules. Like the rules that applied yesterday still apply today.
Right.
In the catch and release zone on Norfork.
So the places you can keep fish on the White River below Bull Shoals Dam is from that confluence boat ramp to the Highway 58 bridge in Guyon.
Yep.
And that has gone to a 2 fish limit.
Yep. With 1 fish over 14.
So a little bit of a change there.
Now, one of the questions that I saw, and I can't honestly say if I have a full clarification on this.
I do not either. I know exactly what you're going to talk about. Does that include brown trout?
Right.
There is no clear. I have not found that.
Yeah.
On our Facebook post, I said 2 rainbow trout, and only 1 over 14.
Right.
Because
and that's how I have interpreted it.
That's how I have interpreted it, and I think that's how AGFC wants it to come off. I would imagine with their current regulations is that you can still keep 1 brown over 24.
But I'm not sure about that. So
I don't know either.
Yeah. So,
but I'm gonna.
We always encourage catching and releasing browns regardless. But if you do have plans of keeping one, you might.
I would ensure that it's over 24.
I would clarify the rules on that with these changes because I have not found a clear answer.
And like I said, that this is how we've interpreted them, and we're still working on changes, and we will.
That's what I would assume they are, though.
Right, but we will come out and talk about those as we find those things out. This is all new to everybody.
Yeah.
But I would encourage people, if they can, just keep the rainbows.
And those regulations are the exact same regulations that I saw posted for Greer's Ferry for the Little Red.
Correct. And I believe Beaver was the same.
And I think Spring was the same.
And I think Spring was the same. I think Bull Shoals below White, or White below Bull Shoals
is the only one that's different.
That had a massive catch and release implementation to it.
Yeah. So those are the regulations. Those are the new rules that were established today by the Game and Fish Committee yesterday, but they were announced today.
I think we need to talk about
why did this happen?
Yeah, how we got here.
Yeah. So really
sorry, we're still fielding questions on Instagram and
yeah. So I want to start this, this segment off just by saying that fish kills in the hatchery are very common. They happen every year.
Yep.
Every year in the fall when that lake turns over, they get fish kills. Now, they don't usually lose
100%.
They've never lost 100% to my knowledge. They lose a few thousand fish.
I know from what I've heard from talking with people is we still have about roughly 30,000 fish in the hatchery that have relatively survived.
Yeah.
And those will be put into the system at the end of the month. That's, again, hearsay when we don't have any official information on that.
So yeah, I want to start that off. So I have a friend that works at the hatchery, and for years I've talked to him, and every fall, he tells me that they're having a fish kill at the hatchery, and it's usually, there's like a multitude of reasons that it can happen. It's usually caused by low oxygen in the water. Sometimes it's caused by high water temp. Sometimes it's caused by like pollutants coming from the lake. Usually they're dealing with one of those problems at a time. This year, they kind of got hit extra hard. The oxygen dipped really low with a combination of high water temp. And from my understanding, that this has a little bit to do, which is weird to even think about, but a little bit to do with the fact that we had a tornado rip through Norfork Lake and knock a ton of trees and debris into the lake.
Yep.
And what happens is when we have a really high water spring and that lake level comes super high and it gets up into those trees and washes all of that dead organic matter into the lake, the leaves from last fall, the dead trees from the tornado. It washes all of that stuff in the lake and it settles on the bottom of the lake eventually. And it
starts to decompose.
It decomposes and
lets off.
And I know that all is a fact. From this, I'm not a scientist.
God no. Not even close.
And so I may completely have my chemicals wrong, but from my little bit of understanding from what happens is that it's iron sulfate.
That's my understanding as well. Is
what is created by the decomposing matter.
Correct.
And that is why the water coming out of Norfork Dam
is tea-colored. Because of the iron in it, because iron rusts. Yep.
And also smells like sulfur.
So I think the iron sulfate has a part to do with this.
Right. But that also happens all the time.
And all over the country as well.
So, but my point with all of this is...
You know what? I would actually like to talk with Tim over at Tight Lines, because his river often becomes very tea-colored.
Yeah.
Because they have very shallow lakes. And they get that a lot. So I want to see how that affects, although they're dealing with smallmouth rather than trout.
Yeah. So my point with it, though, is that
we kind of got hit with the trifecta.
Right. It's three things. And, the decomposing matter in the lake may not affect the trout that much. But
I think
I want you to compare this to factors that are like, think about these fish as just being stressed out. And so like as a human being, when I'm super stressed, something that may not bother me normally, like the person in front of me not using their blinker or something, when I'm super stressed, that may cause me to flip out. Now, I don't die when I flip out, but fish do. Like fish can get so stressed they just die.
Yeah.
I
think the also thing, like when you're thinking about, let's just say DO, right? Like, let's just talk about dissolved oxygen levels in the water. I always said that, watching DOs on the White River, if I'm between 8 and 11 parts per million on dissolved oxygen, these fish are super happy.
Good bite.
If we're getting down into the 4s, 5s, it's really, really tough.
Yep.
But if you think about that as like us going up in elevation.
Right. So that's the exact comparison I was going to make is like everybody's watched the videos about Mount Everest.
Yeah. If you go up to 30,000 feet,
weird stuff kill you.
You're not going to be able to, you cannot survive.
Right.
It's the same thing with these trout. It's not at that 4 or 5 parts per million they can survive. Right, but they're not going to be eating. Their energy levels are going to be super low. It's the same thing with us at high altitudes. If parts per million get to 2, 3, then trout are going to have to start wearing oxygen like we would at 30,000 feet, unless they're the studs of trout.
Right. Right. So all of those things have happened all at once, and it killed almost all of the fish in the hatchery.
We're going to call it 100% fish kill at Norfork Hatchery.
Because that's basically what happened.
Essentially.
And so one of the charts that AGFC posted today was how many rivers the Norfork Hatchery provides fish to. Because it's not just us. It's actually like the majority of the rivers in the state.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's what... One of the things I've talked to people about is that the Spring River actually provided the most to us. And it's actually on our river, it's 50-50.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that we got 50% of our fish from the Spring and 50% from Norfork. I mean, I knew we got a lot from the Spring, but I didn't know it was an even split.
Yeah, well, this is one of the most heavily stocked.
Right.
But it's also the most heavily pressured.
On the White. Now, Norfork, all their fish comes from Norfork.
Correct.
Because they just...
dump them right in there.
Yeah, they just drive across the street and dump them.
Yeah, 100% right.
But yeah, so with all of the information that I've seen, like I've seen posts saying that it's because of the sewage contamination that did not kill the fish.
We got a lot of those calls today too.
That did not kill fish, so I want to curb that right now. Our fish have not died because of sewage contamination. The sewage contamination is not good.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Right.
But that had no effect on as far as we know.
As far as I know, I haven't seen any dead fish because of a sewage spill.
I haven't seen anything like this. That started in 2019.
Yeah.
So I've been here long,
Just want to curb that right now and let everybody know that did not cause that. I've seen some kind of cynical comments online saying like blaming fishermen for it, like blaming people cleaning out the river. That's not
the case.
Not the case.
We've had relatively the same amount of pressure for many, many years and have gone through this season just fine. That's not it. It is really solely a problem with the hatchery.
Yep.
And where we have gone to this regulation is that the hatchery had a problem. And our fishery is in just fine shape. We're in actually really good shape.
I fished today.
The fishery is good.
Yeah, I fished today. And
we're just going to have to now sustain that.
Yeah.
And I think this fishery, I get a lot of people, even coming out, I came out from Colorado, and it's a completely different fishery than you would think of out west, where it is a put and take fishery. That's how AGFC designed it, and the program has worked very, very well for many years. Many, many years.
Yeah.
Now that they have nothing to put in, we also have nothing to take out.
Right. So I want, when I was talking to people today about this on the river, because I had multiple people just come ask me about it on the water today.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like at the ramp. And so what I was telling people was like, don't think about this as they're making this regulation because the fishery is already depleted. They're making this regulation to keep it from becoming depleted.
To sustain the fishery.
Right.
They understand the put and take aspect and the catch and keep pressure that's on this river. It's part of it. That's how they designed it. But if they cannot put the fish in, people can't necessarily take it, or it will get cleaned out.
Right. And so I very much appreciate what AGFC has done.
They've done a fantastic job. I'm super enthusiastic about the way that they have handled the situation and taken relatively dramatic steps to keep this,
ensure that we have a fishery.
Yeah, keep this trout fishery the way that it is.
Yeah, because if they don't have the ability to stock, it would not take long at the old regulations to clean it up. I mean, it just wouldn't have taken very long.
Not at all.
Especially like this time of year being so busy and fall break and stuff. Like it was good timing on AGFC's part to come out with these regulations now and to hold up our river for the winter so that we can keep catching fish. Now, another point that I want to make is while I do have some clients that want to come and catch rainbows, the majority of people come to the White to catch big brown trout. Guess what fish we already were not allowed to keep before these regulation changes?
Yeah, that's the brown trout.
Brown trout. And so like the brown trout are still like...
And they're the most durable fish in our river.
Right.
They can sustain the highest DOs. They can sustain the highest water temperatures. They're not affected, although they might be sluggish right now. They are not susceptible to like a big fish kill, which I've seen is like going around Facebook and Instagram, is that the White River had a big fish kill.
Not a fish kill in the river.
Right.
Like no fish kill has happened in the river.
So like our brown trout are not affected.
Yeah.
Our rainbow trout in the river are not really affected.
Yeah.
More affected than the brown trout, yes.
Mostly in Norfork.
But it's mostly generated around Norfork.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not the fishery itself that is hurting right now.
It's the hatchery.
It's the hatchery, which if we continue the same regulations that we have been on, will in turn hurt the fishery because we can't replenish what is being taken out. This is not a natural fishery.
Right.
Right.
We have very little natural reproduction going on in our river.
It's an unnatural fishery, so we have to supplement it, especially with the amount of bait fishing. And I don't want to say bait fishing. I want to say catch and keep fishing that we have, because it's not the bait fishing, as far as we know, that and bait fishing is still legal on our river.
Right.
It's just catch and release.
Right. Right. And I want to make a point too to again make sure that no one feels like we're blaming the bait fishing or anything, because as we just said, it's not a problem in the river. It's just a problem with the hatchery.
Correct.
Yeah, it's, it is what it is. And I started to say this just a second ago, but like I fished today and, I'm not going to lie about it. It wasn't the best bite that I've ever had, but I'm not going to attribute that to the fishing. I'm going to attribute that to the guide.
If you're in the middle of the boat, I would always attribute it to that.
But we still caught, we still caught nice fish, and we still caught, we still caught a decent number of fish. So
we have seen fishing be a little bit tougher, which always happens when we start having low DO water come out of this dam. Yep. That's very, very normal.
Yep.
Like fishing is still actually good.
Right. Comparatively to elsewhere.
It is. We have a fantastic fishery.
Yeah.
So fishing's still good, especially for those brown trout. Brown trout bites actually been decent.
Right.
Although it's never great in October, we're still catching brown trout.
Right. Now, like last October, I had several days where we went out and caught 100 fish in a day. See, that's probably not going to happen now.
I would say that's going to shift. So usually we always have, as soon as that water drops out, we're going to catch a numbers game is great. That's when I start to bring my beginners in.
Yep.
We go through a low DO period. That happens. Fishing gets tough. That lake finishes turning over. DO gets back to normal, and fishing goes back on fire.
Yeah.
This year, it's probably going to sustain what we consider our low DO periods.
Right. But I also want to say, too, that a bad day for us
is really good for most fishers.
It's still like 30 fish.
Yeah.
That's a relative, like, right. It's still completely possible to come out here and catch 30, 40 fish in a day.
And we're still going to have some supplemental stocking. It's just not going to be as much.
Right. They stocked cotter yesterday.
Yeah.
So what I don't want to see is everybody worry and jump to conclusions.
I think there's a lot of big misinformation out there that like the White River's hurting. And yes, it is, like, in a way.
Yeah.
But not what the tabloids would suggest it to be. The White River is still in great condition.
Yeah.
Our Game and Fish Commission is taking the right steps, and they're doing a phenomenal job. And I'm really, I feel weird saying the word proud, but I'm really proud of AGFC for doing what they have done,
right,
to protect this fishery. It's still in really good shape. I think that really leads us into like what we can do as anglers,
right,
to do our part in moving through this, these harder times on the White River. So I think practicing really good, safe catch and release, is huge. So we don't want to see big mortality rates even out of our catch and release, right?
Yeah, just practice safe fish handling. Kind of my opinion is if you're not planning on keeping a fish, there's no real sense of using a barb anyways. And like, I'm not a bait fishing expert, so I don't really know how that works on their end, but
I'm not.
But just practice, be smart, practice safe fish handling. Just know that, losing a fish might hurt. So
it makes a bigger difference than it used to. So whatever we can do, on the catch and release side. To do that will make a difference at this point.
And also, there are volunteer opportunities.
Yep.
With the hatchery. So we have a lot of nonprofits in the area. One of them is called Friends of the Norfork Hatchery, correct?
Something like that.
I believe that's what it is. Friends of the Norfork Hatchery. And the dry run might be thrown into that it might be Norfork Hatchery and dry run or something like that.
Something like that. It's got a longer name, but yes.
And I'm going to use this opportunity to call myself out on this too, because they're all the time looking for volunteers. And, I'm not going to say that if they had enough help that would have prevented this from happening, because that's not the case at all. But, the hatchery needs updated, and that's one of the things that they help with. And, they're always looking for volunteers and
if you get a chance to help,
check out one of their members is always sitting in the office down there at the hatchery.
Yeah.
You can walk in, talk to them. They'll probably give you some flies for your kids to go fish dry run, because they always have some in there. They're really good people.
They're great people. If you get a chance to go help them out, go talk with them, do that. In terms of what we're doing here as the Diamond State crew, is we're unfortunately using this as a stepping off point to get a lot more involved, which we should have been a long time ago. But we're going to start doing some more volunteer days down at Norfork and dry run and the hatchery and stuff like that. Trying to be more involved with TU, so programs like TU can be more influential on helping these kind of situations, if not prevent them, but get through them, and do what we can for our fishery that we've built a business on and truly love.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to see is, in the face of hardship, a community come together and fix it. Here we are in the face of hardship, and I would love to see our community organizations such as TU, and all the other organizations that we have in the area step up and do their part to.
We're going to do that as a fly shop
right.
and an outfitter. I would like to see a lot of the other, the outfitters programs and stuff in this community do their part and take a little time out of their day to protect our fishery.
What that looks like as of right now, I'm not 100% sure. But we are attending a meeting next week to find out what that means.
Yep.
And so, if we have volunteer opportunities that we can share with, the community, we will for sure do that.
Yeah, we'll shout out. We're going to start talking with people at TU and stuff as well, to see what we can't do to help progress our situation here. Yeah. But just to reiterate, fishery is great. It's continuing to be great.
Yeah.
Don't take these regulations as a major sign of decline on the White River. It's just a major sign that we need to protect what we have here, this beautiful fishery and this amazingly opportunistic fishery. And AGFC understands that, and that's why they have taken these seemingly drastic measures to protect this fishery. So it's going to be protected. AGFC has that in mind. We have that in mind. Fishing's fantastic. The best thing you can do right now, really, is come out, take a fishing trip.
See for yourself what the river's like. Come
fishing.
Whether that's through us or somebody else.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Come support our economy. That's the best thing. Anything anybody outside of our community can do to help us is come support our economy.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
I hope we covered it all.
Yeah. Lots of.
If you guys have any questions,
Give us a call.
Call us at the fly shop.
We will do our best to answer, but I think we've shared everything that we know at this
everything
point.
that I have on my mind and everything that I know, we'll be trying to, keep with us on social media, because we're going to keep posting information as far as we know it. It might not be anything. It might be something. It's all kind of new to us, so we're all figuring it out together. But come fish with us. Fishery is still great. So, especially as a fly angler, we kind of like to see it. And we're going to be catching fish on this river for years to come, and really good fish. You caught a couple 19s today.
Yeah, and hooked several more. So like,
They're there.
I don't know where else you can go. Anywhere in the even remotely close to here where you can have
a 30 fish day today.
Yeah, where you can have one day where
the boys are still catching.
You catch 3 almost 20-inch fish and hook 3 or 4 more that are also about the same size. So like,
yeah, fishing hasn't gone nowhere. It's still great.
Yeah.
So come on with it. Like we said, if you have any questions, give us a holler, but that's kind of our update for now.
Thanks.